Hi and welcome to another episode of Top Volts, and today we're going to be looking at the Formula One Ferrari, first released in 1962, and this is the MM C62. So lovely car, really is. It's the shark nose Ferrari. Actually a really well put together little model. Certainly like a step up from like the junior Formula cars. You know, they've gone pretty well with the detailing, and also the construction. It's quite a solid car as well, with a fair bit of sort of weight to it. So we'll open this up, have a little look at it, and just see what it looks like inside. The braids look like they could do with replacing at some point, and the guide is a little worn, but still probably quite functional. But I will replace these braids, but we can cover that in a separate video. So to take the body shell off, you've got two retaining clips, one at the back, one at the front. So we just carefully pull those out. You just want to pull those out until you feel a bit of resistance. You don't want to yank it too hard, because it's a tiny little clip on the inside there. It's like a raised bit of plastic that stops that pulling all the way out. That does get worn, and you can pull these all the way out, but they do still function absolutely fine if you can just push them back in gently. So let's remove the back one once again, just until you feel resistance, just like that. Let's turn it over. I'm going to carefully just take the body shell off. All looks fairly clean under there. No breaks or cracks in the body shell. Let's put it to one side. And what we have here is the RX motor. Looks to have the original pinion in there. And let's lift this up out of there. So you've got like these two bushes that align the front axle. This all looks to be in good condition under here. Some nice neat soldered joints on the cables. All the cables seem to be in good condition, and even the connection there looks good. So let's hinge this motor. Once again, this motor's on a lovely hinge, just at this point there, which allows you access to the motor. So what I tend to do is just gently wind it in reverse and then lift the motor at the same time, so we can have a closer look either side. And this way you can also inspect the brushes inside here. And there, as you can see, if I can show you on that, the brushes have got quite a bit of meat on there, and it's making a good connection as well. So, but looking a little bit dry. So what we might do is just put a tiny bit of lubrication at either end of the motor. And you literally just need the tiniest of drops. Just down there. That's that. And then the tiniest bit there, because you don't want to get this on the connections. You literally just want to get just in there. That's it. Okay, that's perfect. So tiny little bit of dirt just around the back of that axle, which we just will take care of. It's the usual hair that you find around these back axles. So just get the tweezers. We literally just lift that off. It's good practice to remove this, because as it builds up over time, it can put strain on the motor. you know, cause it to smoke and spark and whatnot, and overheat. Okay, that's that removed. There's a tiny bit around here. Let's move that around so you can see. You can see it's amazing how much actually comes out. Like I said, all this will eventually bind up and then create just a bit more resistance than you need and get bound up in the bearing and whatnot. All right, perfect. Okay, so we'll put the front axle back on, and just bear in mind just to push these two sort of bushes back into their locations either side, and that literally just sits in there free. When putting the body shell back on, as we've been working on this, you can see the retaining clips have gone back over the slots. It's good practice just to pull those back, pull that one back. So when you place the body shell back on, you're not going to be forcing them in and possibly bending them or breaking them. Turn it around and then just easily push those in. Once again, not very much force at all, but you can almost feel like a click as it goes in. Okay, so we'll run this up and just make sure that motor's operating as it should. Okay, so we're going to run this in slowly, just as always, just to give the motor time just to bed itself back in. I'll lightly lift the back wheels just off and just, you know, making sure we've got good connection. So that came in very nice. Just keeping the revs low, or the volts low, should I say. I'm going to slowly increase the volts. Okay, that's perfect. I hope you've enjoyed my video and found some of the tips useful. As always, if you have any tips or advice that you'd like to give on this car, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.